Silence of the Lambs is a story about Clarice Starling, who is a trainee in the FBI Training Academy who has been taken out of the academy to negotiate with a man named Hannibal Lecter. The reason for this negotiation is they are looking for a serial killer actually, named Buffalo Bill, who has been kidnapping women and skinning them in hopes of making a suit out of their skin. He's recently kidnapped the senator's daughter, which makes a room for a fake deal per se with Hannibal Lecter to figure out who this is, because they think that he knows who Buffalo Bill is and where he resides. Clarice negotiates with him for a very long time, offering personal information and recounts of a terrible tragedy that happened to her father, who was murdered when she was 10, in hopes of Hannibal Lecter revealing this information. Numerous deals are attempted to be made with him. He lies to her multiple times, offers false information. All the while Buffalo Bill perfects his skin suit and keeps the senator's daughter in a dry well and gives her lotion so she can smooth her skin for his collecting eventually. Hannibal Lecter gives the right information just before he escapes, and they follow that information to Buffalo Bill's house, a man named Gum. And Clarice follows the information to a house of a man named Gum. He gets into his house and finds that Gum is a collection of bugs. He starts talking to her and realizes this is the man they've been searching for. He turns off the light, throws on some night vision goggles, and a fight ensues in the basement of her stumbling around. He goes to cock his revolver. She pulls her gun and kills Gum. She finds the senator's daughter in the well. She is still alive. He saves her. She saves her. And that is how the movie ends. The disease that Buffalo Bill suffers from in Silence of the Lamb is antisocial personality disorder. It is basically a disorder that makes the person suffering from it a sociopath, which gives the ability to lie and con and exploit others, act rationally, be irritable and aggressive, fight or assault other people, break the law, not care about themselves or others, show no signs of remorse and or empathy. They often abuse drugs or alcohol, and these conditions are often seen in people who are in prisons. There's a vast amount of them in prison, mostly males, but also females. Males suffer from it more often than females. People who have this condition often have it from birth. They don't actually know why they have it. And it can also be caused by traumatic events at a very, very young age that can lead to people developing this disorder that basically makes they feel nothing. They're just cold, and that they don't care about the laws, rules, themselves, or others. They just do what they want. Buffalo Bill, throughout the course of Silence of the Lambs, shows many of the symptoms of antisocial personality disorder. He's seen very rarely, but in the movie he shows them quite often. He acts very rashly when he tries to kill the detective. He's irrational and aggressive. He just wants to get rid of her because he's getting in the way of her plan. He breaks the law through, of course, murdering people. He doesn't show any abuse of drugs, but he acts weirdly. He has collections of flies and moths all nailed up all across his house, and he lies to the detective. He doesn't care about the safety of the woman in the well. It doesn't matter what happens to her, if they starve or die. He just needs their skin. That's the only thing he cares about. So as long as he gets to his goal, it doesn't matter who he hurts or how he gets there. It is shown consistently that he suffers from this, but I would not say that he is overarchingly a good representation of the populace that suffers from this. But this because he is shown to do very strange things. Like most people suffering from this don't skin people, or make a suit of their skin, or dance naked, trying to act like a woman. They don't do that. They're just sociopaths, psychopaths. They don't have emotions or anything like that, which he doesn't have, but it's too far. It's a bad representation. It's clear that what he suffered from throughout the movie, but it's a bad representation of all people who suffer from the condition in its entirety. The things the movie did do right by displaying antisocial personality disorder is Buffalo Bill. He does act rashly, as I said, when he tries to fight and kill the detective. And he acts aggressively towards the women in the well, screaming at them often to put the lotion on their skin. Obviously, he breaks the law by killing the woman and skinning them. But the biggest sign of it is his failure to meet money and social duties, and his failure to care about other people and himself. He doesn't care about himself because you tell that by the condition of his house. It's very dirty, the rooms aren't finished, there's a massive well in one of the floors. It's just a very poorly kept house. He doesn't care about the way he lives as long as he meets his end goal. He doesn't care about like I said, doesn't care about the women in the well, he just wants their skin. Doesn't care about other people, anybody else, and it certainly doesn't care about money standards because it didn't say he actually did anything. It didn't focus on his life or anything else. It was just his one goal. It's all he did, all his free time. It was just towards this. And it didn't show any. One thing it didn't show was the abuse of drugs and alcohol. It didn't say anything about that. So every time he acted rashly or wrong was all because of this disorder. So all in all, he didn't persuade perfectly, but it was obviously what he suffered from. And I think the goal of the movie wasn't to show how everybody with this disease acted, it was just to make it a horror film. So they accomplished both tasks pretty well, in my opinion. And that's it.